China is still the best place to source your Amazon products. Is that fact or fiction? Today, we're going to get the answer. I'm super excited to have my good friend Sebastian Hertz with us today. He's the founder of Signify Global Sourcing. What's up, Sebastian? How's it going?
Lots of things are going on over here. Everything is well. I send best wishes from Germany over to you. Where are you at right now? Japan? Of
I'm
course.
in Japan. I'm in Tokyo. I'm in Tokyo.
Nice.
You're in Germany. We're global. We're live. We're recording for the podcast. I think right now in this crazy year we've been in with the tariffs, with Trump tariffs, they're up, they're down, they're somewhere in the middle. So much uncertainty. I think the big question for Amazon FBA sellers, e-commerce sellers, is should you still source from China right now with the tariffs? I mean, they were like 145 down to like 30 to 55, and people say they're going to be like 30, 40%. We're going to find out. Is China still the best place? If not, then where is the best place? Where are you going to source from right now in 2025 with the tariffs? And Sebastian's working with many different clients, sellers all over the world, and he can source from all over the world. And he had one really shocking statistic. I just want to start with this statistic because when he told me, I was like, oh, shoot, is that for real? Because Sebastian, I believe, if I understood correctly, you said that prior to the tariffs, about 90%, 90, of sellers were sourcing from China. Is that correct? Prior to
That
the
is correct.
tariffs.
Or at least
Okay.
that's what
And
we
then
have done. The
after,
sourcing was 90% in China, correct?
yes. So after the tariffs, what are you seeing right now?
It's actually, there are several impacts in there. I mean, the tariffs is one thing, right? Corona is another one. Suez Canal, the Houthis, etc., etc. There's so much
Yeah.
in terms of changes, but
Yeah.
we currently do sourcing, now sit tight, 40% in China, 60% in
40%.
China. Still, it's
Wow.
growing
So that's a
massively. I mean, the more clients we
it's
get,
a
of course.
it's a
But
50% drop, right? 90% of people are sourcing from China. Now it's only 40% sourcing
yeah,
from China. Is
yeah,
it they're quitting China, or is it like China
no.
plus one, like China plus Vietnam, China plus Mexico? Are they sourcing from another place plus China?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's one of the terms we use most of the time is the China plus one strategy. It can also be
Right.
China plus two plus three. So
Yeah.
people, of course, still do stay in China. It is still, it's a fantastic country to produce. It's a fantastic country to get quality, etc., etc. Whether it's the
That's
cheapest
right.
one, that's a different story. But
Right.
you do need alternatives, especially when you look in the past month, what has happened.
Yeah, I mean, the past month, the past week, and next week, right? Like everything, it's like it's changing so fast this year. So, for those of you guys meeting Sebastian for the first time, he is a former Amazon seller selling over 10 years. He also continues to
Still
run
am,
two
sorry.
large brands. You're still an
Yeah,
Amazon seller. Forgive me. Two brands, both on Amazon, online and offline retail, and he is the founder of Signify Global Product Sourcing. And besides that, he also started up a new movement in Germany, where he is based. You've started up a sellers movement. You said like you built up like 500 sellers strong. Tell us what is going on. What are you guys doing over there?
well, it's swapping over into international seas as well. Um, well, look, the story is I'm on Amazon since 2014. Is everything going well? Find one person who now tells me, yes, everything is great. I mean, what's the biggest issue? One of the things, of course, is seller support. Absolutely useless most of the times, getting no answers and this and that. And there are so many other issues. Like, let's say, for example, we have illegal competitors here in the market who are not compliant. There's so many other things, like, products are being destroyed and being shipped back. Clients are cheating of sending back bricks instead of the product or exchanging the product
Mm,
after a year, reordering, sending back. So there's a lot of fraud going on. And for sure, Amazon is doing some of the things, and Amazon is working together with the associations over here in Germany. But I'm saying this is not enough. It's way too slow, it's way too long, and what I want to do is I'll be like, what do you call this in English? Like the head of the spear or the spear front, or the one who gets shot
the tip
first.
of the spear.
That's what I was looking for, exactly.
Yeah.
And addressing Amazon in a way that we go public and we start sharing about the things that we want changed. And
Hmm.
always, 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 always in a constructive and cooperative way. It's not about
Mm.
bashing Amazon. It's not about finding a scapegoat and just letting our frustration out. No, it's about putting a sellers movement together and start
Hmm.
sharing about those things. Now, within 3 days, I think we had the first 400 people or so joining my WhatsApp group. That's non-profit.
Wow.
It should be a safe zone. No
Hmm.
advertising, not even my own. Nobody's advertising. No promotion of other groups in terms of, hey, come join here and here we help you get the first reviews and stuff. No, it's about collecting the issues and uniting in order to go in front of the of Amazon, cooperative and
Hmm.
constructively,
Hmm.
and address the issues and get them solved. Because many
Yep.
times it may be, of course, our issues that we can't express things, or a simple statement from Amazon, an explanation of how do I really get rid of illegal competition, for example.
Hmm.
Um, and that's what it's all about. So German media is picking
Yeah.
it up. The most famous people in Germany start calling me because the heads of Amazon Germany start calling those people like, who is the Sebastian Hertz and what is this hashtag Sellers Unite? And just yesterday, I've been in the headquarters of Amazon Germany, and step by step, we're growing, we're getting traction.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
encourage anybody to
Where
jump
do
in,
people
I will.
find out more about that if they
I'll
want to
share
learn
the
more?
link with you. It's pretty much it's a
Okay.
WhatsApp group, and
Okay. Okay. If
we
you
also
guys
have a
are
LinkedIn
interested,
group for
go
the
ahead,
ones
comment below. Sellers Unite. Comment below
hashtag
Sellers
Sellers Unite.
Unite. Yeah,
There you
hashtag
go.
Sellers Unite, and then we'll send you the link. All right.
Or you can also go
Okay.
on LinkedIn and start searching for those things.
Okay, okay,
Just keep
but
you posted.
let's get back into the sourcing because that's what we're here to talk about today. So going back to sourcing, where do many sellers? I mean, are they still buying from China? And you know what? I mean, obviously the tariffs have changed, but I mean, what's like like the big you know the status right now? What are you seeing?
I mean, a lot of people go to other countries. I mean, we've seen like China been up to 145%, now mostly like 55%. Other countries are raising or dropping, massive
Mhm.
uncertainty. Europe now, just like yesterday or 2 days ago, 15%, or on European goods, etc. So what's happening is, of course, people are looking for other countries, but the problem is they don't know where to find the suppliers, and that's actually it's also not so difficult.
Mm,
It is maybe a little bit more difficult in terms of focusing and working with those suppliers, with those factories, because you do need to have a little bit more patience. You need to work a little bit longer and harder. Because what I always say is like the Chinese, they really understood selling. They give service day and night, Sundays, Chinese New Year, they answer. And I jokingly always say is like they may only answer one out of your 7 questions, but go somewhere else. You will need to ask them 7 times to get one question answered, but you will
mm,
still get there. So what's happening, what's moving around is, of course, people start looking in other countries. And here comes the first question you need to ask yourself: where do you sell? If you're selling in the US or you're selling in Europe, that is like the main factor of what should be the producing country for you. The US is hit hard by Chinese goods, where Germany is not hit, or Europe is not hit as hard with, of course, Chinese tariffs. But now at the same time, sometimes it makes more sense to put stuff nearshoring, like for the US sellers, produce in Mexico, produce in South America, produce in the US or in Canada itself. You have extremely short delivery ways,
mhm,
right? Like very short
mhm,
logistics, fast logistics.
mhm,
You can produce
mhm,
faster in smaller batches, less invested capital, and or you maybe build a positive cash flow by getting like
mm,
quickly and easily. If you're the same, like especially in Europe, you're within the same economic region, you do get a whatever, 60, 90 days net payment after receiving the goods. And
mhm.
that's fantastic. You can start selling the product before you even pay your suppliers. Yet on the
That's
other hand,
huge. That's
it is
huge. I
massive
mean, a lot of
logistics.
sellers they overlook that fact. I mean, we're
Yeah.
just so used to like putting that like, 30/70 down and then we're waiting like, a month for it to arrive and we're just like, waiting and then we already like put down like, 10, 20, $30,000, right? Whereas well, from what you're saying in Europe, if you can get net 60, 90, you can start getting money before you pay the supplier, right?
But you also get this in China. If you have a
Yeah.
longer term
Yeah.
relationship, I mean, one of the first things, guys, when you're out there and you're buying with your suppliers already for a while, I mean, try to change those things. Don't make it
Yeah.
30/70. Try to get it to a
Yes.
20/80. Or
Yeah.
try to get it to a 20, whatever, 50 and 30. Was it right? Yeah,
Yeah.
20, 50, 30.
Yeah.
Means like 20
Yeah.
down, 50 before shipment, and 30, let's say 30 days, 60 days, 90 days after receiving the goods. Start
Yeah.
negotiating this with your current suppliers.
Yeah.
And also in
That
China,
that's
it's
that's
possible to
one
have a
big
20%
takeaway, guys.
down.
I want to just highlight what Sebastian
Mhm.
said. Don't be satisfied with 30/70 because that's just table stakes. It's like you constantly have to negotiate better terms as you have better relationships, as your business grows, as you build the guanxi. I mean, in China, right? I mean, I've had terms where it was, zero down. I didn't have to put anything deposit, because
Yeah.
we built the trust, right? So zero,
Yes.
100, and even like net 30, right? So that's one big tip to free up the cash flow for you guys, especially, dealing with all the tariffs, increased fees, etc. So that's huge. That's
And
huge, Sebastian.
this
Yeah, what's
is for
next?
many
Hmm.
sellers a huge leverage in scaling. Why?
Yep.
Well, because you get money first. You don't really need to invest anything from your clients if it works, of course,
Yeah.
and only then need to pay your suppliers. So you pretty much have like a nearly endless cash flow, right? Or you have a positive cash flow, so where you
Yeah.
can start scaling. Imagine you have the money available to do that. You don't need to take necessary and external loan. Um,
Yeah.
which you then always, of course, I mean, you still have to pay it back. That's not the
Yeah. Yeah. You're
question,
paying
but you turn
interest
those
too.
things around.
Just.
You have
Hmm.
money
Hmm. Yeah.
before you need to pay.
Yeah. Definitely. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about how things are changing and which products are purchased from which countries. What are you seeing? Are there some general rules of thumb?
I mean, when you look at a product suggestion here, when you start looking for whatever the many different platforms that are out there, look at the base part of your product. Like, what does it consist of? If it's textile, well, look into some regions that do have, of course, a lot of textile production. If it's what do you call it, a tropical wood, well, don't necessarily look in Europe for it, right? So always look into the countries. What is their base production, or what are their natural resources, and how do they get there, and or of how far is a country developed? Like, for example, you may get here in Germany as one of the furthest developed country in terms of industry. You probably get the highest quality of pharmaceuticals and stuff, where maybe in the country of Laos, they're building their own infrastructure still, right? So you do have
Hmm.
pharma producers for sure there as well, but their main focus is, steel, concrete, cement, glass, because they're building the highways, they're building their cities, they're building their infrastructure.
Right.
Um, but when we look, for example, like let's say textiles, right? You have it from China, but it
Hmm.
can also be whatever, Indonesia, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Spain, even some Eastern Europe, Mexico, South America, Peru. When
Yeah.
you have, if you look for alpaca wool, I mean, look where does it come from, right? This is the countries
Hmm.
where you start searching. You will
Yeah.
find a lot, obviously, also in Australia, what is all around wool. The question is, do you
Sheep.
want this specifically Australian wool and then ship it over in
Hmm.
the container prices and the imports? Check out the tariffs, check out the import tariffs. Are worth
Hmm.
it, or is it good enough if you take a South American wool, or maybe even a local wool, and looking at, and that's one of the other important factors, is stop looking at export prices only.
Hmm.
I think
What
we'll get
should
to the
they be
topic
looking
probably,
at?
right? Landed
Hmm?
cost. Landed
Yes,
cost.
exactly. Yeah.
I mean, the factory
Yeah.
prices is one thing. If you compare and you say, for example, oh, but China prices are a lot cheaper than Mexico. Well, X work it may be, but you also may find other prices outside of China cheaper. Even quite some complex product that is not the rule. But even some more complex product like a kid's learning tower, what you use in the kitchen for, chopping, learning to cook with mommy and daddy, foldable. You have the is it the wedges or so that you have on the door? The moving parts. What's the English
The
word?
hinges. Yeah, the hinges.
Hinges. There you go.
Yeah.
Um, and that was cheaper than in Europe. Was cheaper than in China. We were all of ourselves surprised as well, and possible good quality. But now look
Interesting.
at the shipping cost. Look at air shipping.
Okay.
Look at sea shipping. Look at rail if possible, or road.
Yeah.
And also look at your imports. And now look at, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
where's the storage? How much would it cost? Do you do storage with partners, for example, in China before you ship it to your US or European warehouses? And
Hmm.
all of those, like, what does it cost you to have your product right here? then
Yeah.
you start selling because this is your real
Yeah.
product cost, the cost of goods sold.
Yeah. Do you have any like examples of a client, let's say they moved production from China to another country and then they were able to drop the landing cost,
Sure,
even though,
US seller.
yeah. Hmm.
US seller in total was, I mean, that, that was actually double lucky. Um, Beauty accessories, not going in deeper. Of course, we're always protecting our clients, not talking about their
Hmm.
products and or not doing the sourcing for the same product again. If you're in the same
Hmm.
market, obviously, we don't want to create competitors to our clients.
Hmm.
So that's why not going into deeper details.
Yep.
But beauty accessories sourced it in China. A piece was $6 in the beginning. Went to Vietnam and found it for $5. Cool. That's a dollar saving on the product. Pretty good. Now we got to know
Hmm.
that he sold 500,000 units a year. So that's $500,000 just on the savings of the product. But you may even take them and almost forget about them. I mean, don't forget about them because it's 500,000. But the
Hmm.
import tariffs. Back then,
Mm.
China to US, 27%.
Mm.
Vietnam to US, take a guess.
You mean now or before?
Back then it was, I guess the
Back then
category
it
has
was
stayed the
zero,
same.
right? There
Yeah.
was none before. Yeah.
And now
Yeah.
look at this 500,000 units at $6 a piece. 27% import tariffs. That's $810,000 that are being left at the US border just to import it.
Mm.
And those $810,000 did not appear when it came from Vietnam. So the thing what you need to know is like a country does not put tax on a product itself, import duties, tariffs, etc.
Mm.
A country puts import duties and fees on a product from a specific country. So
Right.
if you're in the US, check out the harmonized tariff calculator, for example, um,
Yes.
and you would go in and find out, hey, that kind of product, China 27. Let's look at the other countries. Vietnam 0. That was $1.31 million saving on one product per year.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah.
insane, isn't it?
Yeah.
Same product, same
Yeah.
quality. It was exactly the same thing. Also,
That's
many
right.
of the other things what we see, like rattan, main producer of rattan, this wood style that the furniture of and the baskets and everything is Indonesia.
Hmm.
Vietnam
Mm.
imports that, China imports that, and all of a sudden, when it then comes from there, the finished good, guess what? Import tariffs are different, and they make a
Mm.
massive change. Also, if
Yeah.
only 55% are now on say China, you may have whatever, Vietnam 20, 15%, Indonesia 19, or however the tariffs are still about to
Yeah.
change for the US.
So
That
if a
makes a massive
seller
difference.
is following your advice, Sebastian, about looking at the main material like rattan or like that
Mhm.
beauty accessory, um, how do they find out like where it's manufactured? Do they just go on ChatGPT or like do
I was
they
about to say,
Google
do
it
you still
or
Google? No, what do you do instead? Look for.
yeah,
I mean, always question
yeah.
what ChatGPT says, right? Sounds like, are you
Yeah.
sure? Please do a research again. And then
You
most
gotta
likely
fact
after the
check
second or
it.
third
You,
time.
I mean, it's like your intern. I mean, like he or she works at it, but you still gotta check, the numbers, the data at the end, right?
But I have to
Yeah,
admit, I work some days more with ChatGPT than with my own team. Just for getting,
yeah,
content together, information out, and this and that, and
for
ideas, and
sure.
writing things up.
ChatGPT is
You,
on like 24/7, 365, right? Even if you're late night, you got like, you need like a therapist or something. Not, I'm not saying I do that, but I know people
I
that
do.
do that,
I
right?
admit,
Yeah, yeah,
yes, this
yeah.
thing is
ChatGPT
it's
knows all our
amazing.
secrets.
It almost. Some of them I'm still
Yeah,
careful because obviously you
yeah,
gotta
yeah,
be
yeah.
aware where does that information go. So be smart.
Right, right.
Um,
You got to be careful with that. Yeah.
but then at the same time, I mean,
Okay.
Alibaba is of course
Hmm.
one platform, but there's so many others as well. Like, shall I give a few examples?
Yeah, let's please share more data. Where can people find these suppliers?
I mean, what our team the last time I've asked was like 57 or 58 different platforms that we're using worldwide to find manufacturers, and a few of them obviously Alibaba. Then you have the 1688, the Yaoliao Baba, the Chinese version of it. So if you do speak
Hmm.
Chinese and or read it, you can find it as a Chinese. You still often find, of course, different deals. Of course, you can
Yep.
use things like AliExpress and so for China, etc. But if you look at
Mm,
other countries as well, let's say, for example, Europe, I mean, one of the other big things is also global sources that try to get as many suppliers in there globally. But as well,
mhm,
you have Euro pages, for example, not only, but
mhm,
mostly for European producers. You have
mhm,
WLW, that means in English, like who delivers what, wer liefert was, or who supplies what, WLW
mhm.
.de.
Is that a
That's for
German
German
site?
producers. Yeah.
Do they
Then
have
there's
English
also,
or is it only German?
that's a very good question. I think there's an English version. If not, just what I do all the
Okay.
time is I go in Chrome, right click, translate to English. Who cares if they have an English version?
Yep. Yep.
Um,
Mhm,
and Lieferanten.de means like suppliers, .de as a German. Lieferanten.de. And again, there's so many other pages. One of the easiest things you guys can also do, literally, go to social media. Go
mhm,
search on social media. Why? Imagine you're running a factory. Most
mhm,
of the factories are not the real experts in sales or in online marketing and lead generation and advertising and so on. But guess
mhm,
what? They also understood their social media. And guess what? They try to put out a few posts. And guess what? They also understand that it's difficult and they give up after a while. But there are profiles out there, maybe only with 5, 6 posts, because they went
mhm.
in and says like, "Oh, this is too difficult. Social media doesn't work for me." Yeah, it does if you do it
Yeah.
right. But
Do
this
you
is
mean
also a way.
LinkedIn or Instagram
Oh,
or TikTok
fantastic.
or what?
Like
Huh?
imagine, I mean, Gary, let me turn the question around. You have a factory, you produce dog chews, whatever. What would you do first? What's the easiest?
I think TikTok is the easiest, right? You just
Ooh,
film some
okay.
just
Well,
film
but you're
something and
modern.
go.
You're not an old white man of the age of 50s and
If
so
I'm
on.
an old wait, okay, where am I? Am I in Vietnam or am I in Germany? Where am I? Like
Say
tell me more.
Europe.
Like
I
who am
don't.
I?
Europe or in the Americas itself. Let's say you're in
Europe?
the US
I
yourself. Where would
in
you
the
go?
US?
Yeah.
I think US will be LinkedIn. I mean, people
Okay.
that's for
Yeah,
business
definitely.
or just
Professional
trade.
network.
Yeah, professional. I don't think Instagram. I mean, I could be
Yeah.
wrong. I don't think Instagram because that's more social, but I think yeah.
Yeah, but that's what people
Or just
think,
throw
right?
up a website.
Social media. I
Yeah,
mean,
or
what
just throw
will.
up a website. That's like the most traditional one, like to throw up a
Yeah, but that's
website, you know.
true as well. And then people think, oh, the customers will come rushing in. No.
Yeah,
Like
it's not gonna
10,
happen, but
15 years ago
yeah.
or
But
so,
if you're asking
WordPress.
me if I'm like an old like like old like factory owner, that probably that's what I would do.
I mean, that's a good thing, right? Every person is different.
Yeah.
Putting up a web page for sure, right? But you do gotta run advertising because nobody will come to your web
Yeah.
page
Okay.
unless
Okay.
because there's hundreds of millions of web pages out there. What I would probably do is I'll just shoot up or fire up an Instagram account. I'll take some pictures of my
Yeah.
production, boom, 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 and see this, and then write a few
Yeah.
texts in there, and then me as an old white man giving this to my um, what do you call them? The young ones starting to get apprentices,
The intern.
and she's like
The intern.
the interns, and
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't work, so let's stop it. But there are some posts,
Yeah.
there are some channels out there,
Okay.
and most
Okay.
likely
Okay.
they have used the words of what they produce.
Yeah. That's a big one too. Too. So another takeaway: go on social media to find these factories that are not on
Google
Alibaba.
and
Right.
Baidu and Yandex, all the search engines you have for the different languages, and ChatGPT. I mean,
Yeah.
the big thing is coming,
Are you
right?
finding good success using ChatGPT to find factories, Sebastian?
I mean, that would be interesting to me. Guys, do me a favor, go to ChatGPT and search for the best sourcing companies in the world. I know for us, we show ourselves up product sourcing companies. We gotta call them because many also understand sourcing as HR sourcing.
Yeah.
You do find some, but I think the world is not yet so far developed because most of the suppliers, and that's one of the issues that AI has. Most of the suppliers, most of the factories, they're not really active online. They run
Right.
their life,
That's
they
true.
run through relationships, through contacts, and this and that.
Yeah.
So, of course, AI is searching what it finds online. But if somebody has a webpage from the 1990s and
Yeah.
nothing is really shared online, then how should AI find out about this information? That's why
Yeah,
you do
let's
find
take a minute
some.
to talk about AI, Sebastian,
Sure.
because this is like permeating like almost every topic everywhere, right? What
Hmm.
are like, Alibaba had their new AI tool, like Axio. Have you ever used that before?
I myself not, but
ACCIO?
of course the team has.
Uh,
I mean, of course we're
yeah.
exploring things as well, and they're also getting better
Okay.
and better. Not a question.
Yeah. So how is your team implementing AI in your sourcing? I'm just curious.
I mean, we do start some search. We do actually start building because we have ourselves a network of more than 50,000 self-vetted suppliers that we've been working with. And
Hmm.
so we are implementing some AI actually to go through our own databases. So we have ourselves our own databases, and we start looking into, using Zapier, starting to use N8N to explore like, hey, what do we actually have? Who do we have access to sort them in there as well?
Right.
AI,
Right.
in terms of marketing, I guess we don't need to answer this. But for the search, of
Okay.
course, as well, I mean, yeah, they are exploring also the AI parts that you have in those platforms. We're also, of course, considering is like, should we build some AI or looking into like to scrape other platforms, but of course only in as far as legal ways, and or on the other hand, it still continues to be honest the same old way. Business is still
Yeah.
done between people, so
Yeah.
suppliers
That
and
makes sense.
factories are quite unlikely that they will go so far as to implement AI, that an AI will talk to our AI and start doing the initial negotiation. So there's always somebody sitting over there on the other side. And
Yeah.
the challenge that I see with addressing people by AI, they will see it in their mailbox. Have you seen like an influx also of like massive amounts of emails coming in since this whole AI? Newsletters and this and that. Somehow my email address is being sold or given away. And you see this
Yeah.
and like, oh, another AI
Yeah. A
email.
lot of it
Delete,
is like
delete,
very typical
delete, delete.
AI like speak. Yeah, you can tell right away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay, let's talk about some hacks. Let's talk about some ways, like let's say a seller wants to get more profit, right?
Hmm.
What are some things that maybe they're overlooking right now, especially dealing with the tariffs going to Q4 that they can do to increase their profitability?
I'm thinking right now, like, how smart are you? How developed are you as a seller? Like, how far have you gone in? Like, Gary, do you know 70, 80, 90, 100% of the suppliers on your market or in your products?
Mm,
Yes or no? If that's your state, then it's a different story of like, no, I've been searching for like two, three, four, five suppliers and get quotes. Let's assume, and maybe either I ask you or I just say like what the majority is, and the majority, of course, doesn't know the whole market. The majority
mm-hmm.
doesn't know many
Yeah.
suppliers or works with the
Yeah,
same supplier for
like for
years.
some of the past products that I've sourced, I mean, like I would
Mm.
literally contact every single supplier that I found
Okay.
on Alibaba, on global sources. I would go to the trade shows, like I
How
would
many
do the
how many times
RFQs.
do you contact them? How many responses do you get?
How many how many responses?
Yeah.
I keep pinging them until I get a response. Like, I
Nice.
mean, I don't give up, right? I keep pinging them
Right.
until I get a response. If they don't respond, then I just cross them off and I'll say no response. I don't want to deal with someone that's not going to respond to me, right? But I want to like either get a response
Yeah.
or yeah, or no response, right?
If
And
you
then
do
I
have the
want to
belief,
get
Mhm.
uh-huh.
Sorry, if you do have the belief that this factory can do it and you contact them by email and they don't respond, what do you do?
So you're saying they're a good factory, right? They're
If
they're
you
not
if
just
you
like a
have the
random.
belief, hey, why the hell are you not answering? Sorry,
Some
why
of
the
them
heck are
don't
you not
talk to you.
answering?
Some of them are too big, like Foxconn. They're not going to talk to you. So you have to do
Sure.
something to get onto their radar, right? You either have to write something compelling, or you have to go, WeChat them, or even go visit
Yeah.
them, or go to the trade
Yeah.
show, or get a referral, or look them up on like Baidu, or you know, you
So
have
how are
to
you
do
contacting
something to.
them? You send them a message over the platform. You send them an email, right?
I are we going to get really into the nitty gritty, or
I mean, you asked
like
for like
how
what are the hacks to get answers, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
asked
yeah.
like how
Okay,
to get
yeah. What
prices.
what would you do then? Yeah, what would you do
Do
next?
you call them?
I would call them. I mean,
Good. Do this.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So if you want to get quotes and like, everybody's like, "Oh, I find hundreds of them," but they don't
Mm,
answer, well, you know what? Continue. You know what?
yeah.
Gary, there's like one thing, and maybe many people may not like to hear this. Guys, the factories you're hitting up, they don't need you. They do
Yeah.
not need you. They're alive. They live. They have their business. They do not need you. So take this in, please. I hope I
Hmm.
didn't offend anybody, but that's the truth. They exist
Yeah.
without you. So, you know
Yeah.
what? That's what I teach our whole team, anybody, and also
Uh-huh.
anybody who wants to look at what hangs here on my board. I got to take the camera a little bit away. What's in it for them? So what you're
Exactly.
doing in the very beginning is you got to understand for yourself. In the moment of asking for quotations, you're not buying,
Yeah.
you're selling. You are trying to sell them the idea that they should get off their lazy bums if they are lazy. If not, they should get off their bums and please give you a quotation. You need to tell them and show them that they have a benefit of working with you. They're not slaves. They're not looking for
Yeah.
business for any cause. Please think
Yeah.
that they also have a business. Either if they're employees, I don't want to say just employees, but all of us founders know, right? If they're employees, they have a different
Yeah.
motivation than when they're the entrepreneurs or the company owners. They
Right.
very often, not all of them, we have great employees all over the world. They have their 9 to 5, and then they go home, and they have the family,
Yeah.
and they have other things to do. But please also think for the factory owners in the company. They have a dream like you. They want to become rich.
Yep.
Want to become multimillionaires. They want to build a dream. They want to offer something to their family, bring nice vacations, never give them a chance. So please think, why should they answer to you? And if, for example,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying is I call them, um, if they don't answer by email, maybe the email's wrong. Maybe they have a problem with the email. Maybe they have too many
Yeah.
emails. Maybe they don't look at emails
Yeah.
anymore because they don't need to.
Yeah.
But one of the
Yeah.
things you reach people in today's world is call. Call, 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 call,
Yeah.
call. We have
Yeah.
a phone
Yeah.
bill
That's
of
right.
quite
Yeah.
nicely in the 5 digits a year for online calling
Yeah. Yeah.
on the
I mean,
phone all the
I think
time.
that's a great point. Like two great points that you made, Sebastian. One is just as we're evaluating suppliers, they're evaluating us as potential buyers too,
Hmm.
right? If you're just asking for like MOQ, RFQ, and you don't tell them anything about your business, your potential, why should they? What's in it for them, right?
Yeah.
Why should they even respond to you if they're super busy, right? And the second thing that I like that Sebastian said is you have to be persistent, right? You have to keep like pecking at that. You can't just give up, right? So it's like that saying, the rusty wheel like is the one that gets the oil, right? You have to be the rusty wheel. You have to keep pecking them, whether it's like
Yeah.
phone call, whether it's email, social media, phone call. You got to keep going at them before you get a response. So I think those are two very valuable takeaways. And like what you said earlier, the factory doesn't need you, right?
And I
That's
mean,
the
if you want to get
mentality we
more
gotta.
prices, better prices, you want to negotiate, just get more quotes. But Gary, give me
Yeah,
another, can I give like 20 or 30 seconds just to say it's like
let's do it.
why,
Let's do it.
so just so you get the understanding why they don't need you or why they maybe don't answer. Look,
Hmm.
imagine you're a factory and we have, is it like 1.9 million Amazon sellers or so only? Like only on Amazon, or let it be more than a million active Amazon sellers, right? And that's
Hmm.
just Amazon.
Yeah,
And imagine those factories, they get quotation requests every day, 1, 10, some large ones, 100. You know what they have
yeah,
to do? Sit
yeah,
there and write a quotation for, and they of course by now also understand, another one of those dreamers who hasn't built a business but wants to make it big. I think it's not
yeah,
even worth for me answering. I'm only taking those
yeah.
serious requests who can show me
Right,
they've built something before. Because my
right.
time, why should I spend 80% of my day answering quotations and doing all this
Hmm.
difficult and mundane work for project probability 2%?
Hmm.
Think this, and that's why they also
Yeah,
don't answer. Too many
yeah,
requests.
yeah. Excellent. Okay, Sebastian, I appreciate the great training today. We're already over time. So for people that want to learn more about Signify and get some help, what's the best way to connect?
I think the best way is go to signify.net, and on top there is a product sourcing request. Drop in what you need and we'll get in touch.
Okay, perfect. We'll link it up below in the show notes, signify.net. You can get a product sourcing request, and we'll go from there. So as we close out, do we? Yeah.
Yeah,
Anything else,
signify, very
Sebastian? We should
important in the
cover.
beginning, spell with a Z, not with the S, because we want to do something significant.
Can you spell
So
it out just for
ZIG,
people listening?
sure, ZIGNIFY.net. What is that in the alpha, in the NATO alphabet? Is it Zulu, India, Gulf, North? Is it North? I don't know. India, Foxtrot, Yankee.net. North,
Okay, there you go.
India,
Spelled out for you.
Tango.
All right. Let's do a quick lightning round to close out. Are you ready?
What's a lightning round? Hit
Fav
me.
Okay, so rapid fire question. Favorite book or podcast you recommend?
The favorite book for sure is like What's in It for Them is a great book, but The Go Giver by Bob Burg.
Okay. The Go Giver.
Podcast
And
Hormozy.
Alex Hormozy. Okay. And then on a personal level, what do you do to stay ahead?
In business, you
No,
mean?
just personally, like stay ahead
Of?
of the game. So this is a very
Right.
American expression. So
Yeah.
like what do you do to be more like to maximize your performance, to whether
I
it's,
think I
some
do the
people
things that
they
come natural to me.
Mhm,
Like, and I
mhm,
am discovering myself more and more of like, what do I want to do? So for me, it's an easy thing. I sit down every morning. I get up early. Unfortunately, not as early as I want to anymore. I used to get up at like 4:30. Now it's usually like 5:30, 6-ish, and I sit down in the morning with the coffee, and I always study, like, watch some more videos of the people that I follow where I learn from. The rest of the stuff is also, I have another group of an inner circle where it's also about mental health, physical health, and financial health. So exchange yourself
mm,
or surround yourself with good people who you
yeah,
trust and who you can ask questions also about mental stability or mental health. Because yeah, all
yeah,
of us founders, all of us drivers, we got to screw loose and up in our head, or at least I do.
yeah. Tell me about it. Okay, and last question. I'm all about the 80/20 rule. So if we were
Yes.
to distill down everything you shared today, what's the number one recommendation to sellers out there to looking to optimize their sourcing?
Get alternatives,
Mm,
alternative pricing, alternative manufacturers, because this gives you the leverage of negotiation.
yeah, that's perfect. All right. Thank you so much, Sebastian. This has been excellent training, and thank you everybody for joining us. We'll see you guys at the next session. Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.